so today's lesson, we're dealing with probability and some of the rules, kind of cool stuff with it. You need either a pair of 2 dice or a pair of dice, I guess, not a pair of 2 dice, that'd be 4. Anyway, so you're gonna need a pair of die, or you can use your calculator if you go to apps and you go down to that probability simulator. Yep, yep. So then you're gonna come to your dice, you're gonna hit set and go to number 2, and then because you're rolling 2 die, and then you go okay, and then you go yes, and then you can just roll it and you can kind of see it. Wow, I already got a 12. That's pretty. All right, so first thing we're going to do is you're going to make a row with the possible outcomes, okay, of 1 die. So what are the possible outcomes? Exactly. Jack just said 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Okay. And then if you go to a column, you're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Okay. Then what I want you to do is we're going to go with, so right here, I'm just going to start 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. So that red obviously matches all those outcomes there. So I'm going to do all the same here. And then as soon as I do my first row, I'm going to pause the video because this has got to be entertaining like no other. So I just copied all that. I'm going to do all the same thing for the rows. So I'll have 2, 3, 4, and all those done. All right, so now here's the first thing we need to know. And this is called a sample space. Okay? And we denote it with a big capital S. All right? And then what this is this is all possible outcomes. Okay? So if I had just a die, which is, this guy, my possible outcomes are going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. That's it, right? Right. Now, if I rolled a 2 die, or if I do, 2 die, or 2 dice, let's make it plural. That sounds better. 2 dice. This up here is my sample space because I can have the red be a 1, right? And I can also have this be 1, which would give me, obviously, 2. Okay? So then we would just go 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. Okay? So kind of going off what we said yesterday, what's the probability of getting a 1? 0. Okay? When we're rolling 2 dice, the probability of getting a 1 is 0. Yes, I can get it on 1 die, but when I'm rolling 2 die, we're going to add those together. Okay? Okay. All right. Now, that's my possible outcomes. That's my sample space. All right. The probability model this describes, I'm going to write that so we can read it. Describes some chance process that consists of 2 or more hearts. We're going to show you, we're going to do a bunch of stuff with this table here in just a second. Okay. And then the last one we got to talk about Oh, I guess I need to sit there. So what we're looking here is we're going to need to state a sample space. So all the possible outcomes and a probability for each outcome. Oops, scoot that up. Then we'll come back to the die. And then the last thing we got to talk about today, and then we get to roll some dice, is an event is any collection of outcomes from some chance process that is an event it's a subset from the sample space. All right. Good? All right. So what we're going to do is we're going to start off with, let's say, let A equal, let's let A equal 7. All right. So this is my event. Okay. I want to know that we're just looking at 7. Okay. So then what we would say is we'd say the probability of A is equal to, and then what we're going to discuss is, you guys, I'm just going to say it just so that I'm not offending anybody. So this is, the probability is going to be the total sample space. Okay. And then the number of successes in the sample space. All right, so if I go like that, and I'm rolling 2 die, okay, and I'm looking at 7. So there's how many different ways that we can get a 7? Well, if you go back to your table, 1 plus 6 is 2 plus 5, 3 plus 4, 4 plus 3, 5 plus 2, 6 plus 1. So it's this whole diagonal. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of them. Okay. Now, how many total outcomes are there? There's 36. So this is 1/6. And then if you have to know the, excuse me, 1 divided by 6, this is 0. Let's just round it to here. So that would be 17%. Okay. So that's what we're going to be working with just to kind of start off with. Okay. So what we want to do is just come up with a couple different probabilities, and then I'll check with you. And then we'll use the dice here in just a second. All right. So the first thing I want you to do is I want you to do, let's see here, I'm going to let B equal 3, let C equal 6, let D equal 12, and let E equal 13. All right. So then I want you to do the probability of those. Okay. So give you a last chance to kind of look at things with it. So what I did, or what you should have done, is look something like this. The probability of B, 2 over 36, which is 1/18, which is 0.066%. 536, 0.14, 14%, 136, 3%, and then the chances of getting a 13, you're not going to get it, okay? Not going to happen, okay? Now, what we can also do is we can also limit or increase our event. So I can say let F equal the set of 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12, okay? So all I'm saying is I want any of those numbers there. Does that cover all of my table? It does, okay? So then that would be a 36 out of 36, which would be 1.0, and then that would give us 100%. So that's how we're going to get 100%, all right? Now, what I want you to do is we're just going to see how close these dice are, right, to what we should get, what we're expecting to see on our table, right? So I need you to roll 20 times, keeping track of outcomes, okay? And then we're going to bring this together and tie it in a little bit with yesterday, okay? Okay, so here's an example of what we were talking about. I rolled it 20 times, keeping track of the outcomes. I made a frequency table, and I kept track of everything, right? So I got 0 2s, I got 1 3, 0 4s, 0 5s, 6 6s, 7, I got 4 7s, I got 5 8s, 0 9s, 10, I got 4 0 0, okay? Now, talking about yesterday, right? Why does this not look what I have here? Because if I come to here, I have 1 out of 36% chance of getting a 2, right? So why didn't I get my equivalent? So 1 out of 36, that's a 3%. How come I did not get my 3% with my 2? Yep. What was that? I did not do enough data sets, okay? So what did we talk about yesterday with that? This is the law of large numbers, okay? So rolling die is a great example of to understand why you have to have a large set of outcomes, okay? Because even though I'm rolling 20 times, you think that's going to be enough because that's a lot of work, air quotation marks. That's going to start cutting into our time here. So if we're not keeping track of that, we're getting enough repetitions, our our observed data will be different from our theoretical data. But if our observed data has enough outcomes, it should match fairly closely to our theoretical outcomes. Okay? All right. No bother. Okay, so that's going to end this video for now. We're going to finish up the complement rule tomorrow, and then that should be our ending of our first way of first section for 5.2. We'll do complement rule tomorrow, and then go from there. So I'm not going to assign you any homework yet, but please work on 5.1. If you didn't see that list, make sure you look online. Oh, I didn't post it yet online. Good job. But I'll put it up there so you can see it. All right, thanks.